This is the homework quiz for week number 16, and this is question number 10. Question number 10 asks, which of the following numbers is closest to 0? We have 50%, negative 1/2, 1 5/10, and 1/4. This question is similar to questions number 8 and 9 in that we're asked to compare different numbers. It's a little different because we're not putting them in order, but we can solve them in a similar way. We want to take these numbers, which are a mixture of percents and fractions and decimals, and put them into the same form and place them on a number line, and that's going to make it easier for us to be able to see which one of them is closest to 0. Now we placed for 8 and 9, questions number 8 and 9, we placed them into decimal form. I think it's going to be just as easy to put this into fractions for us to compare these numbers. So let's put a number line first. You can see this number line, I've divided it into each one of these intervals. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 intervals in between our different whole numbers. So they're divided into fourths. And that was done because each of these numbers, 50%, 1 5/10, can be divided into fourths, or something that fractions that can be divided into fourths as well. So for this first number, 50% is the same as 1/2, and there are 2 fourths and 1/2. Easy to place in the number line. And next, negative 1/2 is already a fraction. 1 5/10 we can change to 1 1/2, and 1/4 is already a fraction. So let's place these then on the number line. There's one fraction here that is less than 0, and we can place that right here. That's right in between 0 and negative 1. That's negative 1. There's one fraction here that is greater than 1. That's in between 1 and 2, and that's going to be 1 1/2. One of the fractions is right in between 0 and 1. That's 1/2. And the fraction remaining is 1/4. And 1/4, as we can see, is the number that's closest to 0. And that is the answer to number 10. When you get to 7th grade, you're going to be talking more about absolute value. That has to do with numbers that are closer to 0. And in this case, this number has the smallest absolute value. It's the number that is closest to 0, even though it's a positive number. It can be positive or negative. That's what absolute value has to do with. Numbers that are close or far away from 0, whether they're positive or negative. But that's in 7th grade, and this is 6th grade, and this is the answer to question number 10. When you feel comfortable with it, take a look at the homework quiz for week number 16 practice test and question number 10 on that test.